System of a Down. You know, those 4 wacky lads from Armenia? It's Armenia, right? You know, the same place the Kardashians come from, right? So they got a nice sort of mix of primal screaming and like lovely barbershop quartet harmonies. You know how a lot of bands say like, our band's music is beyond categorization. It's so unique, you just can't pigeonhole us. We are beyond genre. And I'll be honest, 90% of the time, it's complete bullshit, right? But in the case of System of a Down, that is actually completely right. Not very clear exactly what their music is. It's all over the place, you know? But if you have good songwriting and you write good songs, it doesn't matter what your f***ing sound is, right? You can make it work. And what sucks as well, actually, is the 2 main guys in this band, Serj Tankian, the lead vocalist, and the other guy plays guitar and also vocals, Darren. I always say his name wrong. Malakian. These guys have always sort of like butted heads, and unfortunately like the band just hasn't really like done much in a long time. So yeah, we're going to do our best to go over all 5 Soda albums, and then at the end, of course, we shall be ranking every single album. We're starting off going all the way back to 1998 with the self-titled first album. What a legendary album cover. I love that. So I remember like the first time I heard this, I'm pretty sure I bought it at a car boot sale. In the UK, we have these things where like you drive your car into a field and then you sell stuff out the back of your car and everyone like walks around and buys stuff. It's sort of like a yard sale, I suppose, but in cars. It took me a long time to get into this album because it's not as instantly catchy as Toxicity, for example. It's a lot more raw, a bit more like abstract. Of course, we got Sweet Pea. I remember the first time I heard this intro, I didn't know what it was. I was like, what's he doing? It's like, whoa, whoa. I thought he was like doing some crazy ass sweeps. I didn't know that it was like sort of, you know, harmonics, just like. That's like the signature System of a Down beat. It's sort of like the. It's funny, isn't it? Because like it still has that kind of like new metal vibe to it. They still have that kind of like riffing style, but everything else is just so different. That mix as well, it's so crisp. It's like tight, it's organic, it's loud. Oh. So I guess like the next well-known one would be it's so like deep in being dumb. It just works. Back in the day, there was a lot of discussion online about like the meaning behind System of a Down lyrics, and like this one especially. Well, yes, the kombucha mushroom people is obviously an allegory for the Armenian rug economy plight back in the 1700s and the struggles it dealt with therein. A lot of their songs are just like goofing around. Okay, so Spiders is another popular one. The piercing radiant moon, the storming of how late 90s, early 2000s is this intro? First album right out the gate. So much personality, so much energy. Sounds great. The songs are really well put together. It does kind of lack hooks. But you don't really think about that because like the songs are just like so energetic and fun. Alright, album number 2. I mean, what is there to say about Toxicity that hasn't been said already? You know, it's one of the strongest, most iconic metal records ever produced. Not even any other Soda album sounds like this one, alright? They took what they started on the self-titled, just like refined the hell out of it. The wackiness and the silliness is amped up to 10. But also there's like some serious songs that are like, you know, are also much better. Like every song really is like super catchy, but they do it without diluting their sound, right? Prison Song, one of the most iconic openers ever. Trying to build a prison. There's a lot of songs, but they're all like very short and snappy. There's no fat on this album whatsoever, and I love that. Needles. Ah, that kind of like literally makes you think of Needles. It sort of like sounds like what the song name is. I don't think there's like a single bad song on this one. I'm so jealous of people who can do rolled R's. I can't do it for shit. We don't have it in our blood. Oh yeah, Jet Pilot. Oh shit, do you reckon this will go over Despacito? I guess everyone's heard this song like way too many times, but whatever. This is probably the most iconic song of this era, right? Like the melodic like ending bit is like so good, like it gets me every time. Just like the chord progression, the vocal melodies, the harmony, like the arrangement with like the piano and shit in the background. Oh, mwah. That's why, very beautiful song. Me passing by, you don't care about how I feel. I don't feel it anymore. He's showing off again with his bloody rolled R's. Aerials, everyone knows that one. Right, moving on. So, Steal This Album. This is one I don't really know as much about compared to the others. So, in early 2002, medium quality MP3s of the album were released on the internet under the name Toxicity 2, and they worked to release a completed, better quality version of the album, which became Steal This Album. Oh. So, they're songs from the Toxicity sessions that didn't make it onto the album, essentially, right? So, it's like a sloppy seconds album. Of course, Chicken Stew, everyone knows this one. I want to spun the pie, pizza, pizza pie. Pizza, pizza pie. Pepperoni and green peppers, mushrooms, olive chive. Pepperoni and green peppers, mushrooms, olive chive. Meat therapy. I want to spun the pie. I-E-A-I-O-O. I'm pretty sure this is my favorite song on this album as well. Oh, yeah, so good. Talks about the independence of the United States of America in the system style. Does it? Didn't get any of that from that song. With sexual tongue twisters, movie references, and codes. Go pictures. I got pictures on my mind. Pictures on my board. ADD then. American Dream Denial. Now this sounds like some fucking Scorpion King shit, man. Good, there are some cool songs on here. It's fine, but it's a bit inconsistent. Definitely not as good as Toxicity. Mesmerize. For me, and probably many other people my age, like this album is super, super nostalgic. This album was hugely popular. Album of the year, like fucking everywhere. Like BYOB, holy shit, back then, it was like the biggest song in the world. Mesmerize and Hypnotize, amazing albums, mega catchy, very well written. But I still feel like they started to dilute that sort of like cool, the sort of unhingedness in favor of more melody, which is good. I do like more melody in music, but I feel like they started to dilute their sound a little bit. And we're starting with Soldier Side. Nice melodic intro. You definitely get the feeling like this is more of a Darren-led album as well, right? Like Darren's like all over this album. You depend on our protection, yet you... Classic song. Revenga. Love this one. Zero. Classic song. They really like amped the goofy lyrics and shit up to 11 on this one, didn't they? This used to be my favorite song, like back in the day. Darren told Revolver magazine when he was a child, the first record he remembers listening to was Paul Stanley's 78 solo album, and the verse Mankind tribute to those neighbours who introduced him to Paul Stanley album. Oh, what a wholesome song. Hey man, look at me rocking out, I'm on the radio. Oh, this one, yeah. This is something that I've just realized now about this album. It's a lot more vocal centric, isn't it? You can tell that like the instrumentation has definitely taken more of a backseat. You know, there's less of those sort of like big, like riffy, groovy moments. Hypnotize. All right. I don't remember this. It's almost like kind of thrashy, this one, isn't it? It could be a Megadeth song. It's okay. Oh, I forgot Lonely Day was on this one. Nice little ballad. And it's mine. Reminds me of like House of the Rising Sun. The rising sun. And it's mine.
day that I can't stand.
It's cool, but like, don't you think this doesn't really like System of a Down anymore? This just sounds like just a regular radio rock ballad song, right? I think my favorite song on this album was this one, Kill Rock and Roll. This was sick. Isn't this song about one of them running over a rabbit or something in his car? Oh, we haven't played the title track! To be honest, Hypnotize is probably the best song on the whole album. I can't listen to Darren's voice anymore, man. It's giving me a headache. So there we have it, guys. We have gone through all 5 albums, whoa, of System's legendary, powerful career. Of course, it is the main event, and we are going to attempt to rank every System of a Down album into one single definitive tier list. 100% objectively true and correct. Starting with the self-titled album. Okay, this is actually going to be a pretty tricky list, though. Some absolute bangers like Sweet Pea, Sugar, Peephole, The Devil, Spiders. It has a load of sick songs, but but there aren't as many sort of like really iconic songs on here. In my opinion, it's just a really, really fucking good, solid album, but it's not quite S-tier material. Not quite. Pretty damn close. I think it's a very, very high A tier. Not quite, though. Not quite. Because, of course, Toxicity, one of the best fucking albums of all time, regardless of genre. Objectively, like a landmark album. It's absolutely just legendary. It's perfect. If you look at this track listing, all right, you have Chop Suey, Aerials, and Toxicity. 3 of like the most well-known songs of like, you know... But then you have every other, like, you know, filler in between song. It's just legendary. Like, every song on here is a fucking 10 out of 10, in my opinion. All right, Steal This Album. Okay, this is a bit harder. So, it does have some really sick songs, like Chicken Stew. It's like, there aren't that many sort of, like, super legendary songs out there. But it's still good. I do think it's a tier below Self-Titled. Right. Mesmerize and Hypnotize. So this is going to be difficult because Mesmerize, it's a fantastic album. It's so unique. It's masterfully put together. But I don't like that they sort of like, in a way, watered down their sound for the sake of just having lots of like wanky vocal stuff. But whatever, it's like not really a massive gripe, to be fair. I'm going to put Mesmerize as an S tier. And I feel like maybe Hypnotize is like below Self-Titled. It just sounds like more of a basic radio album, really. I think we're going to lock that in. This is our definitive System of a Down tier list. 9/11. Whoa!
All right, mate. Do that. Do that. Do that. Nice one.